Hey, I didn't hear you come in. You looking for the doc? Not here.
Figured. Tried the office. It's not there either. I don't know why people carry cell phones if they're not going to answer them.
I wouldn't do that. There's no crying in here.
That would hurt.
That would be the idea.
You ever hit a person like that?
I have.
Still alive?
Some of them.
So where do I get one of those? What is that, a nightstick?
Depends. Why would you want one?
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
There's this asshole at school who's done some shitty stuff, bullied me or whatever.
Great opportunity for a life lesson. Anytime somebody bullies you, you should thank them every day.
You're joking, right?
Right now, this bully is the only person in your life who's giving you an actual challenge. Everybody else is anesthetizing you, hugging the power out of you, making you weak. You think the struggle of living in the world gets easier? People stop giving you a hard time? Learn to stand up for yourself now and give it right back to them. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. This is a baton. For your purposes, it's probably not ideal. People will identify it as a weapon right away. It can be a problem down the road. Your best offense? Look around. That doorstop. Straight to the temple. Base of that lamp. Shot to the kidneys. This drawer pull over here. Great for a jab to the eye. Anything can be a weapon.
Welcome.
I'm doing it the remote again from an exotic location, my couch. A couple of things that I want to cover quickly. One, damn it, I was just gonna fucking say something, and now I don't remember what the fuck it was. You got a reference for nearly everything. It's wild. It's sad is what it is, bro. I got no life. I'm the Rain Man of metaphors.
Uh-oh, fart.
Oh, I don't know how to spell metaphors. Oh, god damn it. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to say references because I don't know how to spell that word. I'd be like, hey, give me, hold on, I know I'm doing this. Yo, Jerry Seinfeld would hate my fucking guts because I laugh at stupid jokes that I make, dude. What's going on right now is, bro, the memes have been, as the kids say, on fire this evening. I saw one earlier. I'm gonna go and pull it up. I'm gonna want to shoot myself because, oh, did I delete it already? I know I tagged it and I didn't need to tag it. You're not a comic. Don't say you're putting tags on things because you're not. The first one that I saw today was a picture of Hulk Hogan and he had a guitar, and somebody put the caption up on the top of it, I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm Hulk Hogan, hey there brother. That's hilarious to me. I mean, I know it's a cheap joke, but it's still funny. And that was just the beginning. I had no idea that I was going to wind up seeing all of these today. There was a couple of other ones. This one made me laugh out loud, dude. Like, all of them did, but this one is savage. This one is savage, dude. It says, don't hop on social media lecturing people about wearing a mask when we all know you've been wearing the same tongue ring from 20 wieners ago. Yo, I wish I was that funny, dude. I really do. I would have never came up with that, dude. That's pure greatness right there. That is. And then the other one that, I was just talking about, having a conversation about, was my brother shared up on Facebook, is a is a picture of some broad that it looks like she should be. It looks like she should be a cast member on Wentworth. If you don't know what that is, which I'm sure that you wouldn't, it was a prison show that I believe was based out of either the UK or Australia. I'm pretty sure those are two separate places. Don't yell at me. I don't know. I'm stupid. But, she's got yellow hair. Yellow. She's got blonde hair. What the fuck do they call it? With the thing. The braids, I guess. She's got braids when she's stepping out of a car, and next to her, she looks like George Washington, dude. No bullshit. And then right next to her, somebody cropped in a photo of George Washington, and I lost my shit, dude. That's what I was talking about dead presidents a moment ago. I was messaging my boy here, and I sent him those two things, and then we bullshitting back and forth a little bit. He says some people be taking pictures of themselves. Who knew there was something like that running around in real life? I said, seriously, every time I see her, I would quote dead presidents. And he said, you got a reference for nearly everything. Is wild. Because immediately when I seen her, the first thing I thought was, like, if that was my friend, anytime I would get into a debate or argument with somebody and she happened to be around, I'd be like, yo, come here, I need dead presidents to represent me. You'd be mad as shit, but that's funny to me anyway. But I'm fucking stupid. A lot of things that are not funny to the average bear, see what I mean, boo boo, are funny to me. So it don't matter. And I think that covers the memes. I'm pretty sure. I also I watched Misery the other day, which fantastic fucking movie. I attempted to do a podcast on it after I watched it, and completely scatterbrained. I'm going to keep it, and I'll have to redo it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it again, and I'm gonna do a thing where while I'm watching a movie, I'm gonna commentate on it, and then if you want to watch it, also you can watch it while we talk about this thing together here. But that was an amazing movie. A lot of shit has been happening, and by a lot, not really. It's just been a decent day. There's been a couple of rough patches. As Joe List would say, the silent re started creeping up on me. I haven't had to take anti-acid in a while, but I had to break some out today because it was rough. Like, it was so bad, it started making me nauseous and shit. but that's because I ate a heart attack earlier this morning. And, before you go judging me, you should know I ate that shit at probably, I don't know, 11, 12 o'clock earlier today, and I have not eaten since. Like, I will eat one of those, and then I'll be good. But I don't make it all the time. I mean, they call it a heart attack for a reason, because it's super bad for you. But if anybody is, if you're not from the East Coast, more specifically, if you're not from Jersey, New York, Philly, I mean, I don't know what they call it in New York or Philly, but this sandwich is known as a heart attack out in Jersey, which is pork roll. Normally, cheese is added on, but I don't add cheese on it when I make it at home. I just eat it the way that it is. So it's pork roll, eggs, and instead of a roll, I do a honey wheat English muffin, dude. Little bit of butter on the English muffin. You break up a piece of the pork roll. You put a little bit on each side of the English muffin. You drop an egg down, a little bit of pork roll, drop another egg down, a little bit of pork roll, and then you top it off. Now, if you go and buy one at like a bagel shop or whatever, they'll either do it on a roll or a bagel. Oh, you said bagel shop, idiot. That's what they do there. But they'll usually, some places, like there's a spot out in Bayville, with a bagel. The way that they make it is they put like fucking 4 slices of pork roll on that motherfucker, and it's insane how much food that is. Like, if you can eat one of those and then eat again a couple hours after that, I have to salute you, because I can't. I ate that. I mean, to be fair though, I ate the sandwich, and I always make a second English muffin with it, so that anything that falls out of the sandwich while I'm eating it, I can put into the other English muffin, and then I eat that. So it's almost like 2 sandwiches, but it's not really. I mean, I know that's on some fat shit, but I only eat that shit once in a while, because it is super bad for you, and it's definitely not, unless you want to be on my 600-pound life. There's no reason why you should be eating one of those things every day. That's like a treat that you make maybe once a month. I mean, obviously, it tastes better if you get it done in a deli, a proper deli, or if you go to a bagel spot. But if you're doing it at home, it can still be good. I mean, we have all the ingredients. How I do it is I take, I think, let me grab a stick of butter, because I want to see what the measurements are here, so I could tell you how do I do this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, so it goes by tablespoons. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's the 10 crack commandments. Wow.
There's 8 tablespoons of butter in a stick, which is a lot. But I would take half of a tablespoon of butter, put that in a pan that's heated on medium heat, sprinkle pepper, salt on the pan, and then once all that butter melts down nice, one piece by piece, take the pork roll and cook it up. Right now, Jen likes to eat it burnt, because she's got a thing with meat. If it's not charred, it's not done. But I mean, it's a delicate process, because you have to make sure if you cook it on too high heat, then it's going to be raw on the inside, and that's no good. So you got to be careful. But, that's how I do it. But the point here, what I'm getting at is, after I make all the pork roll, this is where the fatness comes in. I leave all that oil from the pork roll and the butter left over from the pan, and I'll crack 2 eggs into that pan and cook the eggs in that. I don't want to call it sauce. For some reason that makes it seem worse. But I'll cook it in that oil so it soaks up all that flavor. And then do that shit. I mean, I'm not an asshole. When I take the pork roll out of the pan, I put it on a paper towel to let it bleed out, because it's already unhealthy enough as it is. Not like you're really saving yourself by draining it, but I don't want everything all wet and gross. Like, I'll put a tiny little bit of butter on the English muffin to offset the dryness. That's the only reason why I do that, because I don't like it when it's oiling. If you were to take it straight from the pan and put it onto your English muffin, all you're gonna taste is the grease. It has a really distinct taste to it, and it fucks up the flavor of the sandwich. So I bleed it out. Put a little salt, pepper on it, little bit. I go a little bit heavier on the pepper than the salt, because there's probably a disgusting amount of salt already in the meat as it is. But, I ate one of those motherfuckers earlier, and I'm still good. Like, that's a great meal for medicine anyway, because I can eat one of those, and then I don't have to worry about, I'm gonna have to eat, and then that means I'm gonna fuck up my medicine because it's gonna take it away. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole issue, which is a fucking problem. But you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't even remember why the fuck did I bring this up. I know it had nothing to do with a fucking sandwich. Well, maybe Silent Re. That's what it was. I think the Silent Re came from the sandwich, because I haven't eaten one of those in a while. So it fucked me up something fierce. There's that. Also, I decided to be smart and shave my fucking head, because it was for 2 days, it was like 80, 90 degrees. Right now it feels like we're back in fucking fall weather again. But that's because there's a tropical storm that's barely going to miss us, or at least as it stands right now. Fuck, I lost it again. God damn it. What the fuck? Oh, it's sunburn. Dude, I had to walk to the pharmacy, and I also went over to Wawa yesterday. I have sunburn on my fucking head, and it hurts. Like, this thing is fucking me all up, dude. I got the chills. I don't feel good. Like, the whole thing is a goddamn nightmare. My head is just throbbing. It's just phrasing. It hurts, dude. Like, anytime, like, when you shave your head, if for anybody that doesn't do that, like, when I say shave it, I mean, if you went to the barber, they would use like a 1 on your head. That's what I do, because fuck it, if it's gonna be hot, I have really thick hair, so when I buzz it, get it over with. I don't want to fuck around and have to cut it again. I'd rather just buzz it and be done with it. But so my head's burnt, and somehow the back of my neck and in between my shoulder blades is burnt, and nowhere else. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but it is pretty bad. So this is no good, because if those were only 2 days, and we're not even in summertime yet, so I'm definitely gonna have to be very careful, because I have had third degree sunburn before. I know that's probably sounds ridiculous to a lot of you, but it is an actual, you can get third degree burns from the fucking sun if you're not careful. Like it was so bad, the doctor actually had to prescribe me slendomycin in an ointment form for me to put on my skin. I was fucked up for like 3 weeks. Let's see what this dude said. Sorry, same goes for you. If you ever want me to plug your pod or jump on as a guest, I'd be more than willing, bro. Well, let me know, dude. We'll fucking set it up. Or let me know when you want to come on, how you want to do it. Dude, because when I was on Instagram, I saw that, fuck, now I don't even remember the name of this dude's fucking podcast, and I was just messaging him. I almost said Above the Rim. That's a fucking Tupac movie.
I mean, shit got bad. Real bad. Be up in that damn bodega with mama food stamps and motherfuckers be laughing at me. Can you believe that? I mean, they was laughing at me. We had no lights, no electricity, no food. We all wrapped up in our coats in front of the stove in the wintertime. Mama rocking back and forth with that sad-ass look on the face, talking about old Shep, old Shep. She actually believed you was coming back to save us or some shit. It's all right, though. I handle shit. We got a split-level duplex, big screen TV, marble floors. Mom ain't have to work. She seen more money in her life than she ever had. And I did that. I bought that back. And with us side by side, together as brothers, can't nothing stop us. Nothing. You think I came back here to work for you? Come on, man. We brothers. And now you working for me? We be partners. What, selling that shit? Are you that dumb? Fuck you think you talking to, man? This ain't nutso. This ain't that dope head on the roof taking orders from you. This ain't your same little brother following behind you trying to go outside. You ain't the motherfucking man no more. I'm the one. Shit has changed. It's a new day, bruh. You can't clean up your act. Suggest you raise the fuck up.
It's because he talks about basketball. Post Fade podcast, who I'm talking about right now. He put up a post on the Instagram saying, you know, my DMs are open if any of y'all want to. Well, maybe I shouldn't announce it. Well, no, it's fucking public, idiot. He said it. If he didn't want people to talk about it, he wouldn't have said it. He basically said if you need a guest on your podcast, DM me. Pretty much is what he said. So I was like, dude, I in my head months ago, like 6 months ago, you know, this dude started following me on Instagram, and I could swear that I invited him on the podcast, but I guess I thought it and never said anything, but I thought I did. The way that he does his show is a little bit weird, in the sense that, like, he has music playing in the background the entire time, which I understand. I understand why some people do that. I guess it makes it easier for some people to listen. But, you know, I kind of found it a little bit distracting. But I mean, then again, I'm weird. So, you know, you obviously can't base the way that you're gonna operate off of whatever my preferences are. But I hit him up now, and I was like, dude, I thought I invited you on the show already, but I guess I thought it and didn't. So, you know, if you want to come on and plug your shit, let me know, dude. and we'll do it. And he was like, yeah, the same goes for you. If you ever want to plug it or come on. Like, dude, I'll do it. I don't know shit about basketball. Ew, you liked it? You're not supposed to like the response, dude. You're supposed to... Whatever. I don't got no time for that. Same goes for you. If you ever want me to plug your pod or jump on as a guest, I'll be more than willing, bro. See, now... See, this is... Let me give you a little insight on the way that my brain works right now. Is because... You're privy to the conversation, right? I tell him he's got the open invite, whatever, and then rather than saying, okay, we'll set up a time or whatever, he liked the message I sent him. That, to me, that says conversation's over. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'll like your response and end of the conversation. I think that message was if I could play armchair psychologist for a moment, I think that message may have been meant for somebody specifically, and he put it out in the public just so that it wouldn't look shady, thirsty, whatever the kids say nowadays. And I don't think he really has any interest in doing my show or having me on his show, which, I mean, I don't have guests often. And I realize I should fill you all in every time I start a new episode for anybody that may be a new listener. Because, unless I talk to you as if everybody that listens has been here from the beginning. But that's because I don't want the people who have been here from the beginning to hear the same shit over and over and over again and get aggravated. You know what I mean? So, but I don't normally have guests. I've tried in the past. It's failed miserably in my head every fucking time. Just because it's easier to just do it on my own. I don't know what direction I want to go in, right? Wherever I end up, that's where I am. And it's easier. When somebody else is involved, I gotta take in, can this motherfucker actually talk? Like, sure, you have a podcast, but it's easy to have a podcast when you're interviewing people. But when it comes to having a goddamn conversation, can you hold your weight? That's a problem. And a lot of the time it doesn't work out. You can go to the black box. I believe it's somewhere around episode 14. I had a group of guys come on the podcast, try to help them out, whatever. And that was a fucking terror. After that, I had Traveling Cannabis on, which was one of my favorite fucking episodes besides the one that I did with my brother, which was the sanitation board, I think I called it. That is my favorite episode outside of the ones that Doug and I did together. That one is my favorite. Traveling Cannabis, second to that. The Where's This Going guest spot podcast when I had Felix Levine on was a fucking nightmare. Hated it. I mean, I was freaking out the entire time that I was talking to the Traveling Cannabis cats too. But they were super cool though. They were patient. They don't even really fuck with podcasts, and they were cool enough to come on and do mine. And I've been following Traveling Cannabis. I originally started following them under Jacka1 Trade on Twitter, which doesn't exist anymore because I deleted it because some fucking cocksucker literally stole my fucking identity. My real name, my full real name, and that one and made dummy accounts, which they have also done on Instagram. But fuck them. I'm keeping my Instagram simply because of the fact it's an outlet for art, 1 minute clips, all that shit. Twitter is really fucking annoying. I know I fucked up. I made the announcement saying that I wasn't going to put clips on Twitter anymore, not realizing that that's disrespectful to the people that follow me on Twitter. Be it only 38 people, it's not the point. Like, they follow me for whatever reason. I'm sure they would still like to hear clips, but I mean, it was literally getting an average of like 4 views, if that, sometimes 10. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is the point? When the Instagram is hitting not much more, but the turnout is better. It's anywhere from, 14 to 25, whatever it is. But it seems like the world of social media is gravitating more towards Instagram because Twitter fucking sucks. I hate it. I get messages about people. I literally have muted everybody that I follow. So if I happen to follow you and you are listening to this right now, understand it's not personal, but Twitter doesn't know how to shut the fuck up. So every time you do anything, I get a goddamn notification. And that shit is annoying. I don't care if you followed somebody. I have no interest in that. You know what I mean? Like, that's great. You're following whoever you're following, but I don't need to know that. I can easily, if I wanted to see who you were following, I could easily find that information out by going and looking. And it's not even just that. It's every time you post something, they're constantly trying to find ways to get you to click in and go into the fucking app, which is annoying. Which will bring me to the point of, I'm gonna keep the @LaughingBirds on Twitter account, but I think I'm gonna delete it off of my phone, and I'm only gonna tweet off of my laptop when an episode comes out, or if I happen to be in there editing something and I want to tweet about some bullshit. But other than that, there's no reason for it to be on my phone. I mean, honestly, I can't even stay up to date with the people that I'm genuinely interested in because they won't leave me the fuck alone. I mean, Facebook is the same way, and I know Facebook owns Instagram. Instagram does it sometimes, but they're not as bad as Twitter or Facebook is. But to backtrack a little bit. Wait, no, I said that somebody jacked my shit. I was following them, Traveling Cannabis. I think I was following them since, I want to say, maybe 2014. I don't know why I wanted to say 2007, but that doesn't sound right. No, I don't know. Somewhere around there. So, when they agreed to come on, I was really excited about it because I admire what they do, traveling around the world, staying in different places, just enjoying life, smoking weed, doing all that, and not like the people that saying that weed makes people lazy, like, dude, see what these people are doing. They're traveling around the fucking world, just enjoying themselves. That's not, it depends on the fucking person, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, I hate that. That, people, weed makes everybody lazy. Some asshole on Facebook tried saying, when I had made a comment on a News 12 post about legalization 2 years ago, I'm pretty sure by now, because it was shortly after Murphy got into office, and they were asking what people thought about legalization, and I got into it a little bit because I'm very passionate on the subject. Not just because, like, oh, the party, dude, whatever. No, like, it actually, it helps, but I've talked about that shit 100 times. I'm not trying to go back into all that. The point is, some fucking douchebag is like, oh, it was, the post from the news was talking about legalization as it's concerned to voting, right? Like, if it goes up on the ballot, are you gonna vote for it? Whatever. Something to that effect. And I got into talking about it, and then some douchebag writes, like, there's no need to worry about it being legalized, because everybody that is going to want it to be legal is going to be too busy being stoned on their couch, being lazy, to get up off their ass and go and vote, because basically everybody that smokes weed is a lazy piece of shit. Which is fucking a wild thing to say. This is absolutely not true. I can name a gang of people who use marijuana for a variety of reasons, and they're not fucking lazy couch potatoes. Like, they do shit. Don't get me wrong, the weed back in the fucking 90s, that shit would paralyze you, dude. This shit now is way cleaner. So, you know, it's different. Like, you can actually function. You don't get that hangover when you come down like you would on the old shit. But that's because now with the science being what it is, they've figured out things. They're able to isolate chemicals or whatever the fuck it is that they do. So it's a whole different thing now. But basically what I'm trying to say is I respect what they do. But to get back on point here, I don't normally have guests on. I had a dude hit me up on Twitter today because I shot out a tweet promoting the 40s episode that just came out, I believe, yesterday. Yeah, because today is Sunday, May 17th. The 40s episode just came out yesterday. Some dude put a message on that tweet and was like, oh, I'll check out your episode if you go and listen to my podcast. If you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. Like, dude, alright. I hate it when people do that, because it's kind of a douchey thing to do. I know I've been guilty of it from time to time. It doesn't feel good to do that. I know you have to advertise and you have to put yourself out there. Searching the internet looking for different places for you to drop your fucking podcast name is insane. But anyway, this dude's show is called Listen, Listen, Listen. I'm not making it up. That's what the fucking name is. She's like, oh, check it out. You know, the podcast is basically me teaching you how to be annoying. It seems like something that you might enjoy. Okay, to be fair, we'll play both sides of the argument here, because my initial thought was, well, you don't fucking know me, so how the hell would you know what I like and what I don't like? And then the other side of that argument would be, well, you don't know, maybe the dude heard one of the clips that you put up on the Twitter and he thinks that maybe it would be something that you might like. Really, we're going for the third option. It's a fucking sales pitch. He's trying to appeal to my interest, to try to make it seem like, oh, you know, I'm recommending this to you because I think you'll enjoy it. No, you're not. You're recommending this to me because you're trying to get numbers on your fucking podcast, dickhead. Just say what you're trying to say.
Okay.
handle the small shit.
You don't work me, motherfucker. If you want me to check it out, you could have just left it at that. And I would have checked it. If I say I'm going to check it out, I'm gonna do it. I don't say things for fucking effect, bro. So I go and he gives me an iTunes link. I say nay. I go and load up Stitcher, and because I downloaded that, I am using that. My podcast is on Stitcher right now, if you were not aware, but I'm using that app outside of the complaint that for whatever reason the Broad Street Breakdown doesn't come up in the Stitcher feed. I had to say I tried Castbox, which is it just sucks the fucking life out of your phone. Okay, I mean Stitcher kind of does too, but the difference is, we'll get to the differences in a second. I've tried Spotify, and by the way, I'm on all these platforms. So if you happen to use any of these and you want to stay up to date with what's going on with the show, you can find the Laughing at Birds podcast on those and a few other platforms, all the majors. He gives me the iTunes link. No. I load up the Stitcher, I look it up, and to my surprise, the fucking podcast is 2 minutes long. Not exaggerating. Literally 2 minutes long. That's all it is. And it's basically him doing exactly what he said. Which was, I'm going to teach you how to be annoying. I have a harmonica. Here's how I play it. And he plays it all off key and shit. He throws some sound effects into it, which I found was kind of interesting. Like, okay, maybe that's why you thought I might have liked it. But again, that goes back to whether or not he actually fucking listened. But it doesn't matter. So, I listened to it. Like, I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to subscribe to it. That's not for me. There's nothing that I can do with a 2-minute podcast. Nothing. If it's less than an hour, alright, to be fair, if it's not at least a half hour long, don't waste my time. And it's got to be about something actually interesting, because normally when I'm putting shit on, I'm outside, I'm walking to the store, I'm cleaning, whatever, I'm cooking, whatever I'm doing. I don't have time to go back and touch the phone and change shit up every few fucking minutes. So, I'm in it for the long haul, for the most part. But I listened to it. I replied to the dude's message like, well, I mean, it is exactly what you said it was. So, I mean, I can appreciate that, paraphrasing my own words. Then this motherfucker responds back and is like, if you could do me a favor and rate my podcast also, I would really appreciate it, and I would do the same for you. Now, I highly doubt the motherfucker actually did it. I don't know, because I can't get into my reviews on iTunes, and I badly want to, because apparently there's 3 reviews, and one of them, somebody gave it 1 star, and in the worst way, I want to see if they left a comment along with their review and what their complaint was. Like, it literally, when I saw that somebody did that, it made me happy, because that means I succeeded as a content creator You heard something that I did, you hated it, and then you went and reviewed it, which, thank you, by the way, just in case you're still listening, because whether you give it 1 star or you give it 5 stars, it still helps. So I appreciate that. Just the fact that you would take a moment to be like, fuck this guy and whatever he's doing, because other people will see that. I don't know if he did or not. I'm interested to kind of find out, but honestly, I don't care. I helped the fucking dude out. Who gives a shit? What bothers me, though, is when I went to go review it, I was looking at all the other reviews that were there, and 99% of them were, 2-minute podcast, this is great, keep doing what you're doing. What I'm getting at is, I think this dude, and they've all these reviews have been put on this page over the last month. So I think he's just been finding people that are promoting their shows on social media and telling them, like, I'll review my shit and I'll go review yours. This goes back to that fucking Jadakiss line. We're supposed to be leaders, then why you want to follow each other? Like, that shit is fucking annoying, dude. If I don't like what you're doing, or at least respect it, I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna follow you just so you'll follow me back. That's fucking wild, lame, and stupid. For 3 words to describe the same exact thing. I'm not gonna do it. It has to interest me in some fucking way. If not that, then I'm trying to at least help you, because I remember, and I know when I say this, it's gonna make it sound like I've come so far and I've built up such a fucking audience. But I mean, when this thing first started out, like a year and a half ago, we were trying to figure out what the fuck were we gonna do, scrambling to try to get guests to just get our footing, pretty much. I remember what that felt like, and I feel like it's important to help people on the way up. The problem is, they all want your help, but they don't want to fucking reciprocate. Like, okay, I'll check your shit out. If I'm not gonna check it out to be like, oh, well, now listen to my shit. But at the same time, you should, though. Check it out and give me an honest opinion. Don't suck my ass and tell me that you think it's great if you think it sucks. Tell me what you didn't like about it. I'm interested to know these things. I want to know what your opinion is, honestly. But, I mean, whatever. So, I mean, if I can help somebody try to push their shit up, cool. I don't, that shit kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Especially because I said to this kid, like, bro, if you want to come on as a guest and plug your podcast, feel free to do that. I said that right now very poorly. That's not the words that I used. And that motherfucker ignored what I said. You know what, you know what, fuck that. I'm not wasting my fucking time. Basically, he ignored the fact that I said that. It was like, hey, thanks a lot, go fuck yourself. Which, that shit rubs me the wrong way, dude. Either you're in, or all you gotta do is just saying, no, I'm good, I got what I needed out of you, and that's it. With this, whatever the fuck is, Post Fade, whatever the fuck his name is, this other dude talks about basketball all the time. So, I mean, I can actually as an outsider who doesn't really watch a lot of basketball, now would be the perfect time for me to, like, I could have this dude on and I could talk to him about, like, you know, since you're such an NBA fan, you know, how do you feel about everything that has happened with all the sports being shut down? You know, what is that like for somebody that is going through, like, this is unprecedented. This never happened before. And then obviously who his favorite players are, you know, the dumb shit like that. But I'm not going to press it. This is exactly why I don't have guests on. And just to throw it back again, even though I don't like the way that the episode with Felix came out, and I really didn't like, I'm trying to figure out a nice way to say this. I don't like the way that the whole situation was handled. I felt that he could have been a little bit cooler as far as communication goes, because I'm not fucking famous. Like, it seems like I can't say for sure, I'm not in the man's head, I don't know how the fuck he thinks, but it seems like he didn't want to, like, I don't feel like being bothered with all of this. And then you go and do other motherfucker shows, and you're sharing them, plugging them all over the fucking place, and I had to pull your fucking teeth to get you to promote the fact that I had you promoting your shit on my fucking show. So I was like, dude, you know what? Fuck having a goddamn guest. Look, credit to the man. He puts in countless hours trying to get guests. He has a team of people that helps to put his podcast together. I do everything on my own, right? Everybody's process is different. I'm not shitting on the guy. It's just that, you know, don't half-ass me, bro. I don't appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool. But it is what it is. What are you gonna do? But that shit really turned me off, bro. Because I'm like, dude, you could do this yourself. You don't need guests. They're nice once in a while, but look at all the shit that has to go into getting them on. I mean, you have to go through the whole charade of figuring out when are they gonna do it. Are they gonna cancel in the last fucking second, like most of them do? And then if you finally do fucking get them on, are they gonna carry a goddamn conversation? Right? There's gonna be awkward moments. I understand that that's the nature of the beast. But even still, I don't want to worry about scrambling to come up with questions when I ask you something and you give me a 2-word fucking answer. And this is a generalization. I'm not talking about Felix anymore, but generally speaking, you know, if I ask you a fucking question, a decent one, at least in my mind, and you give me a fucking 2-word answer, now what the fuck am I gonna do? I was hoping to build something off of that, and now I gotta sit here and fucking improv. If I was gonna improv the goddamn show, I could do that on my fucking own. I don't need you for that. What the fuck do I need you for then? I mean, honestly, dude, it don't make any fucking sense. It's like, you know what? I don't really feel like eating by myself. So you know what I'll do? I'll invite some people over. We'll cook a meal, whatever. Afterwards, maybe everybody could pitch in, help clean up a little bit, and then we can all bullshit or whatever. And I go to the store, I buy everything, I cook it all on my own while they sit on the fucking couch and watch television or whatever the fuck it is people do, right? They eat the fucking food, and then they leave. So now, not only did I go and buy everything and cook it all my fucking self, but now on top of all of that, you're leaving and now I gotta do extra dishes.
Look, man, I don't mind doing a guest spot for my peeps or doing a benefit show, but don't lie to me, pussy, cause I find out I'm paying your light bill, I'm fucking you up, nigga. Besides, you ain't doing this for the love, you ain't doing this for the exposure, you charging up to $10 at the door, and you ain't trying to give me shit? So wait a minute, you want me to go shopping, cook the food, and put it in front of you, but you won't let me sit down and eat with you? The fuck is that?
If I was going to have to do all that shit in the beginning, I could have just went to the store, bought shit for myself, made my own goddamn meal, and just had to clean up after myself. What's the point of having all that extra nonsense for? It doesn't make any fucking sense. But let me get off of this and go backwards a little bit, because I want to bring up the podcast platforms. I mentioned earlier I've used Castbox, I've used Spotify. Well, because of Broad Street Breakdown, I still use Spotify because they're on that. Because I'm not downloading a separate fucking app just for one goddamn podcast. And iTunes, I don't have iTunes on my phone. I have an Android. I'm not diving into that fucking wormhole, dude. It's not happening. Point. What the fuck? Oh, 55 minutes. Damn, it's an hour already? Alright. I'll stop it here and then I'll start back up again. That went pretty fast. The 55 minutes just snuck up on me. I didn't realize that it was going for that long. I'm sure it's gonna be a goddamn nightmare to edit. It's gonna sound like shit because I'm on my phone, but still. So, I don't remember exactly what the last thing was I was saying, because when I heard it beeping like that, I started to fucking panic because all the goddamn video games that I played, you know, when the timer runs out and your guy is about to die and you gotta fucking hurry. It reminds me of Sonic when he's drowning in the fucking water and you gotta hurry up and get him an air bubble, right? But I know I was talking about the podcast platforms. So, you know, I figure my original idea was to rotate out, because it's on 11 plus platforms. This podcast is Yoda. So my original thought was to, why not switch them out every month, do a different podcast platform, so that everybody, so you can reach all those different people that use these different apps. And now my fucking phone is gonna die, cocksucker. Let me grab a goddamn charger. Don't die on me right now, please. I would like to finish this. All we gotta do is make it to the kitchen. We're grabbing the charger out of the recording room. Switching platforms every month. That was the original plan. Unfortunately, the most recent one that I did was Google, and Google Podcast fucking sucks. Because I just looked, and the most recent episode is the people that listen on Google fucking Podcasts are probably missing out on the fact that a new one has been uploaded. Plus, they said they're changing shit. I just got an email saying that Google Podcasts has been bought by YouTube, and now that's going to become one separate entity with Google Music YouTube Music instead of Google Podcasts. I don't fucking remember. The whole thing it's a deal, right? So I don't know. When I saw that, I was like, fuck, well, I gotta change it. But either way, like, I'm going through these platforms because I'm a podcast listener myself, and I decided, why not fucking check out Stitcher? I was originally listening to Tuesdays with Stories on there. Now, don't get me wrong, Stitcher does have its downfalls, right? Like, if I go on CastBox, I can go back a little bit further into older episodes, whereas it's harder to do that. I guess on Stitcher, they only keep a certain amount, so that's a drawback. So really, any platform that you choose is gonna have pros and cons, obviously, but I decided to go with Stitcher because I got tired of fucking CastBox constantly killing my goddamn battery. The screen needed to be on all the time, or you had to run the shit in the background, and it eats data like a motherfucker. So that was a problem too. So I downloaded this Stitcher app, and to my surprise, like, it has some cool features as an offline mode. One thing that it does have, which I think is fucking awesome, that more platforms should do this, is if you go to, like, if I go to the Tim Dillon show, right, and I click on his podcast and he puts out an episode, like he recently did, I think the one that he put out today was Malibu Knife Fight. Great episode. If you don't know who Tim Dillon is, that motherfucker is hilarious, dude.
Folks, you're not going to like it. Are you ready? Man, you are not going to like this one. This one's going to be one that people get really angry about. Are you ready? Prepare. Take a seat. I imagine many of you are. I imagine many people aren't listening to this on the elliptical. I could be wrong. The time to smoke marijuana is in your late teens and early to mid 20s. After that, it should be very rare. It should not be all the time for most people. And don't give me like, well, Rogan and do that. That guy has a constitution you will never have. Yeah. You want to, yeah. That guy's got 3 jobs. He's running up and down hills. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Don't use an example of like the 4 people that are succeeding in life. He's one of 5 people that are doing well. Don't use that example. Get real. Fucking losers. Come at me.
He is easily one of my favorite new additions to my rotation, and a fucking funny comedian on top of that. But so saying he's got an episode that's an hour and a half. When you press play, I mean, you have the option to just play it and go with it, or Stitcher will give you the option of allowing the podcast to load before it will play. So that means the whole thing will buffer out all in one shot. So you wait a minute or two, and then you can listen to the entire podcast uninterrupted, which is great for me. Again, I don't want to have to go fucking around with my screen. I want to put it in I want to press play, put the fucking phone in my pocket, and not have to worry about skipping around. The only thing that should concern me is volume, for obvious reasons, because of gag noises or whatever. But I mean, outside of that, that's all I want to have to be concerned about. I don't want to have to worry about it buffering every 2 seconds. Like, that shit is fucking annoying. So that's really cool that they do that. Now, I don't know about the other platforms. Like, I know iTunes, you can download on all of these things, but some of them make it more difficult. It works fairly well. One complaint, some ways show up right away. It was like when Tim uploaded his episode today, I actually found out via YouTube before 3 hours. It took 3 hours from the time the podcast was uploaded onto YouTube to when it was finally showing it was available on the Stitcher app. I don't know if that was because they uploaded to YouTube first for the video part of it. I'm not sure. But I mean, I would recommend, and I'm not saying this because I'm on the fucking platform. None of these people pay me. And I really should be plugging Anchor because they're making this podcast possible. Anchor.fm, if you're unaware. But, I mean, honestly though, dude, the way that their app is set up is not great. It's not good at all. It's difficult to search for things. It's a pain in the ass to try to play them. The way that Stitcher has it set up is just easier. For me, I don't know what your preferences are. Maybe you would like Anchor. I appreciate the fact that they give me the ability to upload a podcast and not charge me for bandwidth, and they give you the option to sponsor you until you hit a certain amount of people, I guess, with your audience, and then they start to match you up with whatever sponsors they think would, be good for you, whatever the fuck that means, which I'm not there yet, but I don't care about any of that. I just think it's nice that they do that. It's fucking awesome. Like, I will put Anchor over all day fucking long, dude. It's a wonderful platform as a creator, but as a consumer, I'm not really well versed in how it works. I tried a little bit. I don't like the setup. None of these motherfuckers are paying me. I'm just giving you my experience because, like you are right now, I do the same thing listening to fucking shows. So, maybe we can compare notes. If there's a platform that you like, but I'm not a real IT guy either though. So maybe there are features that maybe I'm using it wrong. That could be entirely possible because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Maybe it's not Anchor's fault. Maybe it's my fault. Entirely possible. Most people, from what I gather anyway, most people listen to this podcast via YouTube. They don't even listen on the podcast platforms. I mean, they did before. In the beginning, it was heavy on the podcast platform, very little on YouTube, and now it seems to have gone the complete opposite. But I mean, I've been fucking myself over pretty hard lately as far as YouTube is concerned. I think what I need to do is just stick to putting the goddamn podcast up once a week on the YouTube and leave it at that, because every time I do anything else, like in the last 2 days, I've lost 4 subscribers, but I've put up like 6 videos. You would think they would be happy to see content, but I guess not. And it doesn't do, like, I've finally reached a point where the podcast, even though it is only, 30 plus, sometimes a little bit less than that, the podcast episodes do better than other fucking videos that I put up. So we've transitioned successfully, I guess you could say, for me, at this stage of the game. I mean, dude, we're a fucking year in, bro. With the amount of content that is on the goddamn internet. Basically what I'm trying to say is Stitcher is a good platform. I enjoy it. I like it. Out of all the ones that I've tried so far, I mean, Spotify fucking blows, dude. It's good if you want to listen to an album sometimes. I mean, I don't have the premium version because I'm not, I don't know, man. I feel weird about it. I know it's probably fucked up that I use the free version and listen to music anyway, rather than pay Spotify and be able to stream the album in its entirety with the track list in the order the way it was intended. But I don't know how much of that money goes towards the artist anyway, so I'm assuming they get money per stream, whatever the fuck it is. So I don't want to wind up paying $10-20 a month, whatever the fuck it is, to listen to music and shit just to have ad-free listening, and then find out that the artists that I'm listening to aren't even getting paid. Like, if I wanna support these people, I gotta figure out how the fuck do I buy an album now. What do you do with it? Phones are changing constantly. I mean, this one is broken beyond belief, dude. It's cracked as shit. Like, you can literally see the motherboard, whatever the fuck it is. It's like a Terminator phone right now. It's all fucked up. So if I bought a digital copy of an album, does that transfer over to a new device? Do I need to buy the album again if I get a new phone? I don't know. I'm a dinosaur, dude. I don't know how this shit works. So that's part of my hesitation. But I mean, I guess I've done the hour, so I probably should, and then some. And then by the time I edit this, it might be a little bit less. Right now we're sitting at 55 minutes plus 15. So probably by the time I end this, probably be 70 minutes. And then when I edit it, probably be roughly about an hour 5, depending, because I know I have to put a break in the middle of this, just because that's the style, that's what I do. Just try to enjoy it, have fun. But I'm going to just recap quickly. Eventually, I will rewatch the Misery movie, possibly. I'm not gonna make any promises yet. Maybe we'll do that for, you know what, that actually would be a good thing to do for a Halloween special. That's not a half bad idea, because I do need to figure out what am I gonna do. And I know we're only sitting in fucking May right now, but you know, shit comes around pretty quick, man. So maybe I'll do that, and then we can worry about Christmas time and that shit comes around. So as it stands now, maybe I'll do Misery for a Halloween special. That should be cool. Maybe a lot of people don't know about it. I mean, it did come out in, I think, 1990. Kathy Bates, James Caan, fucking wonderful movie, dude. Really enjoyed it. Creepy as fuck, but definitely worth it. If you're into thriller type movies, dude, this is a great film. Really, it just, to hype it up a few months early, basically what this movie does is it shows you the power of an actress and an actor. Because Kathy Bates and James Caan both bring what they bring to the table for this movie, makes it what it is. Don't get me wrong, the script obviously has to be good, because I could bring up a whole nother movie, but by now that's gonna have to be a separate podcast because I've already gone for an hour. But it's called, I believe it's called The Assignment, which had a really good fucking lineup, and I tapped out maybe half hour through it. So we'll have to bring that up in the future. But like I said, Kathy Bates, James Caan, make that movie really what it is. The movie is based off of a Stephen King novel. I think that says it all right there. I don't really need to add anything else to it. So, I guess that's it. Misery is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, if you're looking for a podcast platform to use, I would recommend Stitcher. I have not really enjoyed my experience with Castbox or Spotify. Sorry, Anchor. I know you guys make the show possible, but again, it could just be that I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, so it's not personal. But let's face it, you don't give a fuck about what I think. You guys on all these platforms, they're worried about the cookie cutter motherfuckers. I'm the science experiment that they keep in the fucking basement. I'm the Rocky Dennis of the podcast world, dude. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to fuck with me. They acknowledge I exist. They'll throw some food in the fucking basement once in a while. But when company comes over, they're deadbolt in the door. You know? They're like, you know what, dude? Just whatever you do, don't bother me while I got people here. That's pretty much what this is. With all that said, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm gonna end this. This would be probably episode 82 by now. I don't know. I wanted to come on here and do something quick. Turned into a fucking actual podcast, and I probably didn't get to half of the things that I originally wanted to, but that's what this show is, man. Right now, fuck, by the time this comes out, I think the last thing I posted was set for, hold on, I got a calendar here, because I know we're already in, well no, we did July already, so I think we're in August. If my memory serves me right, which it probably does not, hashtag gray matter, this probably will come out on the 8th. So, in your world, I've already covered the Disabled Draft is out, the 40s is out, the Shut-Eye Saga, which still has 20 minutes left to it that I have to figure out what I'm going to do with. That will be out. Fucking Tree Rats episode is out already. Look, dude, I do a bunch of shit. I can't keep track of titles and, oh yeah, private parts. That one's going to be a fucking problem. Ugh. Whatever, dude. It is what it is. Look, man. Life's too short, okay? I'm gonna yell at you for having luxury problems while I sit here and complain about podcast platforms, ironically, that being a luxury problem in and of itself. But I also got real fucking issues to deal with too, so I don't want to hear that shit. But again, I know I'm a hypocritical asshole, so you're not breaking ground. I'm sure I've gotten a million hate comments already, and burn in hell, and you look like you're high, and go fuck your mother, and all this bullshit. Dude, if you don't like it, don't fucking listen, okay? I'm not gonna dance around points and try to walk on fucking eggshells to please everybody, because that's not who the fuck I am as a human being, and there's too much of that shit going on anyway. Look, I'm not saying I'm not the wildest person that there fucking is, but I mean, dude, you're not supposed to agree with everything that I say. I'm not supposed to agree with everything that you think. That's just what the fuck it is. But I'm sure you probably already know that. I mean, I even think most of you that bitch and complain and hate on the internet understand that anyway, but you're hurting for attention so badly that you're willing to do whatever just to get some kind of fucking social interaction, because you think that just trying to start a genuine conversation isn't going to get you a fucking response. And maybe you're right 90% of the time, but being a fucking cocksucker is not going to do it either. So, it is what it is, man. I will see you motherfuckers next week. I just started a new show with House in it and a bunch of other people. Maybe that will be a feature in the future. I don't know, but it's 11:15. It's time to start to bring this shit down a little bit. Going with the heart out, dude. Nothing else I could do.